Hey everyone, do you ever feel like you're going round and round? Do you ever feel like you're going round in circles? Over this last week, we've explored our monthly insights. And monthly insights are looking at and exploring the Psycards, extracting wisdom from them, looking at the influences of now and as they begin to unfold. It's a live event that we run over on our Facebook page. Links can be found within this video. Our Facebook page is Spirit Meets Adventure, and we do a live show where we kind of explore those insights, monthly insights. We explore those Psycards, and often we will take one or two spirit messages as well. And the card that come up this month was the Wheel card. Okay, and what I like to do is after the live show is kind of sit with the card, let it continue to speak to me and kind of extract some deeper insights, some other perspective, and kind of look at what else it's beginning to tell us, what else it's beginning to show us. But the thing that really come up, the thing that really struck a chord is quite often we feel as if we're going round and round. We feel as if we've kind of locked into a repetitive cycle, and sometimes those repetitive cycles are kind of subconscious behavior that we just kind of go round and round in. You know, it's the same kind of trauma, the same challenges showing up in different forms in different ways, but quite often it's a version of the same. And you know, you kind of hear it when you kind of have conversations with people. They say, why is the same thing happening over and over again? And quite often it's a cycle. It's a pattern that we get locked into. And one of the things I say to people is, one, identify. You know, it's all about identifying that you are in a cycle, that you are in a pattern, that you are going kind of round and round. It's all about first identifying it and then creating a pause and a stop. You know, for me, I think those pauses and those stops are absolutely worth their weight in gold, because what we then do is we literally just put the brakes on, we stop, we pause. And what we want to then do is kind of reflect and identify the pattern, identify the cycle, identify that round and round, and then look at how we can begin to change it. One of the things that I love to do, normally on the season change, on the quarter, so every 3 months, one of the things I like to do is kind of grab my journal, go off, take myself off normally on a solo kind of trip, spend a bit of time, normally an overnighter, really kind of simplify, just kind of get out there, normally put up the hammock, put up the tarp, take the bike, and then kind of just, you know, cook on a fire, sit round it, and then take stock. And then look back, you know, reflect back on the last 3 months, look at the trials, look at the challenges, look at the breakthroughs and the amazing moments, and then really kind of reflect on what I've learned from those experiences, what I can take from them, and importantly, how I can apply them as I move forward. You know, quite often what we're all doing is just constantly moving, you know, constantly in movement. And when I say that to people, you know, it kind of makes them smile, because they say to me, yeah, but you're kind of, you do a lot of adventure cycling, are you not always on the move? And it always makes me smile. And my answer is, yep, I clearly get that. But the thing about that is, what it does is it simplifies everything. You know, it's you, the bike, the road, and what it does is actually puts you into a kind of meditative space. All you're thinking about is what you're doing. So it allows you to kind of really become very present in the here and now, and allows you to really kind of drop into now, drop into where you find yourself. And it's the same when I do those kind of overnighters. I'm pausing, I'm stopping, I'm reflecting, I'm taking stock. And that is one of the first things to do, is to stop, pause. And then what we want to do is identify what this pattern, what this cycle is. Identify what it is that is overwhelming you. So right now, take a moment, just take a moment, and almost like take a few breaths, maybe close your eyes, take yourself in and ask yourself, if you're one of those people that you feel that you are going round in circles, that you're just going round and round, just take a moment, take that breath, go within and ask yourself, okay, what is it that's overwhelming you? Why are you in that cycle? Okay, what is it overwhelming you? And importantly, how can we begin to change that? What can you do right now, today, in this moment, to begin to transform and change that? And quite often, the one thing that we can do is begin to stop, slow down. And then what we want to do is maybe explore our boundaries. I heard someone within the last week say to me, you know what, that person's always taking all my time up. They're constantly just taking all of my time. I never ever have any time because of that person. And I looked at them and I smiled and I said, they're not the problem. Okay, that person, in all honesty, with all due respect, is not the problem. The problem is with you, because you're saying yes. You're saying yes to that situation. As much as it may not be easy, what we need to do is discover and find the courage to say no. So quite often those boundaries that we need to place, first and foremost, need to be placed with ourselves. We need to find boundaries with ourselves. And then we can kind of gently place those boundaries with the world around us, and those people that maybe you come into contact with. But it has to start with us. Quite often we can look for those changes. You hear people say, I'll be happy when this happens, I'll be happy when that person changes, then I can be happy. Those changes can only truly come with us, and they start and they finish with us. It's not the easiest path to walk, yet it's the one that transforms the most. Anything else will be kind of short-lived. It will be hit and miss. What we need to kind of do is realize and understand that we can create choices. And the first way to kind of start really changing and transforming this cycle that we may feel that we're stuck in is by stopping. When we stop the momentum, we stop the force of this, and then it's evaluating what we can do differently as we go forwards, and then it's finding that courage to kind of place those boundaries. There's some thoughts, guys, on the will card and the energy of now. I hear so many people say, they're just exhausted, they're just running ragged, that they have no time. And I think that modern day life is absolutely that. There's 101 things to juggle. We've got to be everywhere and nowhere all at once. There's lots of demands that we need to meet. Take communication. You can communicate with someone in about 15 different ways, and the whole world is kind of stimulating us constantly all the time. Maybe the key to all of this is stopping, standing back, and having that courage and that conviction to just simplify everything that's within your world. And that's probably why I love the adventure cycling, because it just strips everything away. And as we speak, I have a dear friend, Matt, as many of you know, that I get up to some shenanigans with and some adventures with. He's currently riding the Transatlantic Way bike race that goes from Dublin all the way up to Derry in Northern Ireland there, and then jumps onto the Wild Atlantic Way, which is 1,500 miles all along the west coast of Ireland, and drops into Kinsale, not far from Cork. And I think that when you're kind of having experiences at that level and you're having adventures at that level, everything's kind of simplified and stripped away, which is probably why it's kind of very important to us. Because you kind of, we often say is, miles around meditation. And I think that this card fits very well the wheel in many ways, and that made me smile this week when it came up. So there's some thoughts, guys. I hope you kind of can take some value from that. Those of you that are watching this on Facebook, you can find a whole wealth of resources, a library of videos on a YouTube channel. And those of you that are watching on this on YouTube and you would like to connect with my daily kind of content, inspiration and maybe some wisdom there, you can find me on our Facebook page, which is Spirit Meets Adventure. All the links are within this video, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.